Is that a bird? Is that a plane? Or is that No, that's definitely not Superman. Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Brightburn. This was directed by David Aronofsky and stars Elizabeth Banks, David Denham and Jackson A. Dunn. It's really a reinterpretation of the Superman story, but it's sort of done in the way that what if Superman didn't become a hero, he became a villain. And he is a bit more sinister than he seems. And this is ultimately what this film is really about. And it sticks very closely to the Superman story in that he crash lands here, the family takes him in, and he starts to work out his abilities, and he starts to show who he is as a person. And this is sort of what this film follows. But it takes a severe detour. This is more a horror film than a superhero film. There's a lot of violence in it and very gory moments, but they work for what the story's going for. It's a very simple concept. It's well put together. It's well acted. The visual effects are quite well done, and it's an interesting, refreshing take on the superhero genre in such a great and horror-based way that I really loved. I thought Elizabeth Banks was really great in this, a really solid role she gets to play. She's sort of like the Martha Kent sort of esque character, and I think David Denham does a solid job as well. I don't know if he was perfectly cast in this role, but he does a solid job in what he's able to accomplish and the actor he is. And their relationship is, you get to know a bit about them and sort of care about them to a point. Jackson A. Dunn, who plays Brandon, ultimately the kid, he's really great as well. He plays in such an interesting way, and he's a really solid performer, and I like what he's able to do with this character, and I believe what he's doing, and I enjoy his performance. It does take me a little while to get into it, but most of all, I really enjoy what he's doing here. This was written by two of James Gunn's brothers, Brian and Mark, and I think they do a solid job with what they've got. It's sort of refreshing. We're so saturated by superhero movies, and this is something that's trying something completely different within that genre in a way. Sort of more looking at it becoming a supervillain rather than a superhero, and I kind of really like that. I really like the sort of superhero-esque elements to this, and who he is as a person, and you get to see him evolve and grow and turn into this quite sinister and scary sort of character. And I really loved that. There were jump scares in it, but not a huge amount, and they were done in ways that weren't to do with the horror, jump scares, killing someone or something like that. It was done in a different way. And it has a great ending, I feel, for the thing it's going for, and it perfectly sets up this idea that there could be more to this. There could be sequels. There could be other people out there like him, and I really like that. And I think that's an interesting way to do a movie like this. I found myself talking to the screen and ultimately saying, I wish he'd do this or do that, and he did those things, and I love that as well. I love being able to watch a movie and you want them to do something and they do it, and I think it works really well for what they're going for. Like I said, this is definitely not for the faint of heart. There are some really gruesome moments in it, so if you like horror, you might get a lot out of it. And if you like the superhero genre, it's interesting as well. But yeah, it has a real strong horror element to it. Ultimately, this movie is just very clever and very well done, and I got a lot out of it. I was really impressed by it. I'm glad there's movies out here that are refreshing. This is the second film I've seen in the last 2 weeks that I've really enjoyed. The first one being John Wick Chapter 3, and this is really great. And this is definitely going on my top 10 of the year. Number 2, Under Us, I think is absolutely brilliant, this film. It's not perfect, there are issues with it. For me, it took a little while to get into it at the start. I thought they took a while to explain things or to get you to care about this couple and this young boy, but I just didn't feel a connection to begin with. I felt it was a little forced. We sort of skip over something at the start that I think is important, would have liked to have seen, but they actually don't show it throughout the film, and I thought that was a little disappointing as well. The David Denham character, Kyle, I didn't think he was brilliantly cast either in this role. I thought he did okay with what he had, but I just felt it would have been better suited to someone else. But besides that, I really enjoyed myself with this film. Final verdict. Look, if you like a different twist on a superhero film, if you like horror movies with something unique and refreshing in them, this is definitely a film from you. I don't know if this film's going to be for everyone, but it will find that niche market who likes this sort of thing. If you want something that's refreshing and interesting, this is definitely a movie to check out. I highly recommend this if you like something that's a bit different in the horror genre or the superhero genre. I'm going to give Brightburn 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this. Like I said, it's a great film, well done, it's simple and well made, and it's ultimately going on my top 10 of the year. It's number 2 on my list so far, Under Us, followed by John Wick Chapter 3. I just think it's so great and well done and refreshing and interesting, much like Us is, and I'm so happy that we have films like this. It gives me faith once again in cinema that there are good movies out there. You just have to find them, and you have to wait sometimes, because this year hasn't been really great for a lot of movies. There hasn't been really solid films come out. There's a handful of ones, not many in this first half of the year, and I just feel we're lacking in this area and not having enough great film. And so I hope the second part of the year we get a lot more interesting films and stuff I really want to go to. But this is definitely worth your time if you like something different. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.